Welcome to Inebriated Analysis, Episode 2, the AA meeting you do want to be at. My name is Pete, and today I'm joined with...
Rob. That's me.
Farid.
And Bryson. My friends call me Bryce, but my dad calls me Son. The name's actually Jeremy.
So, what ended your sobriety today, guys?
Well, I came on the podcast, and the plan is to drink here, so I would say the podcast ended my sobriety.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking a Dogfish Ales wood-aged Bitches Brew. I got it because Bitches Brew is my favorite jazz album of all time. I have no idea what it tastes like.
You ever had it?
I have, but I was saying that for the podcast, but I guess the
I want to try it
Save
too.
your cup.
Save my cup.
Yeah. Do you want a glassware for your beer?
Just drinking out of the bottle, guy.
No, because I was gonna.
Oh,
that's what I was gonna pour the
yeah.
other one.
No, it's fine.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, shit.
Amateurs.
You messed up as well.
You know what? It's fine.
No, I'll get you another glass.
What about you, Farid? What's tickling your taste buds today?
Same thing as last week. Having a Corona Refresca. Didn't finish them, so trying to.
Look at that crisp.
Corona Refresca, the most refreshing drink.
Yeah.
What about you, Bryson?
Well, I'm drinking the new Cucumber Limeade IPA.
Ooh, that sounds
wow.
good.
It's got this nice, I guess you could call it teal color.
Yeah, it's kind of cyan-y.
Ignore the Mountain Dew Baja Blast can in the background.
Well, how many hype words are on the can? Because that makes me judge how good it is.
7.
7 hype words. Okay, that's pretty good.
Funny enough, that Baja Blast is in a good spot because you cannot see it from the camera.
I'm drinking Mountain Dew Baja Blast today. Oh, I actually have 2 drinks with me today because I know what the boys like. I also have a bottle of Balls. I don't know if you've ever had this before.
Oh, it looks pretty
Ball.
good.
Oh, shit's good. Let me tell you.
What is it?
I don't know. I think it's technically an energy drink.
Did you just get that because it said balls on it?
No, I actually love this shit.
No, okay.
I drink it all the time.
Oh, I love balls.
I know. That's why I brought it.
Like, it's really good.
Right? Yeah, I think it's technically classified as an energy drink, but
Yeah, balls. I like balls.
Yeah. You
I honestly think it's more like a soda.
You like Candace too?
Who's Candace?
That's my mother-in-law.
You don't remember Candace?
All right, Farid. So what did you bring for our taste test?
So for today's taste test, I brought Cider Boy's Pineapple Hula. Wow, it's actually called Pineapple Hula. It's an apple pineapple hard cider.
Ooh, sounds festive.
I have your... Yeah.
Cracking
Are
open
we
a
making
boy
that
with the cold
a
ones.
reoccurring?
Like what?
That's festive.
Did I do that last time?
Yeah, what'd you say last time?
Oh, I said adventurous.
No, I think you said festive.
That's a little festive.
I'm probably going to run out of Baja Blast very soon. This is very good, and I drink a lot of it.
No, okay.
What's with the deal with burping? Can I...
You can burp. Go ahead.
Loud?
Carbonation.
Should I burp like into the microphone? So like...
I mean, preferably not.
No, because Dino has to.
That's how you get your start as an ASM artist.
That's how you get COVID.
Can't wait to see these comments. This man's burp is so good.
Yeah, I no longer have a glass for the taste test.
ASMR
You can have
man
the bottle.
burping for 12
That's
hours
fair.
straight.
So,
We should look
do
super
I try
hardcore.
it now or do we do it?
as always,
Absolutely.
cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Fair, this is just piss.
This tastes like you took a bag of like sour gummy worms and just soaked it in water. Maybe
Okay.
a dash of vodka in
I
there.
kind of like it because I love sour gummy worms.
No, it really does not taste like apple or pineapple.
I can taste
I can
pineapple.
taste the pineapple
I can taste
for
the
sure.
pineapple for sure.
Yeah, it has some pineapple notes in it. It was very cautious of the apple flavor.
Oh, the beer literate of us is gonna tell us.
Yeah, you should read some of these like comments people leave on like Beer Advocate to read beers. Like I couldn't even comprehend what they were even saying. It's too much for me even.
What kind of stuff do they say?
Luscious, overzealous, poor,
Wow.
with a body that makes you wonder.
Is that a pun? As in you like pouring the beer?
Like I don't.
Are those the hype words you're talking about?
No, the hype words are
Seven
like
hype
the hype words are like on the can to make you want to buy it. Like if it says like double or triple or quintuple IPA.
Contains alcohol.
Beware the comment section. The seven
Contains
deadly
alcohol.
hype
Like let's see, like
Oh, stout brewed with honey. Those are 3 hype words.
those are some hype
Yeah.
words. Like even the one I have right is by
Yeah,
You
Jeremy,
okay?
Jeremy, what hype words you got on there?
Taco Bell original.
I actually forgot. I shout out to my coworker for getting me this this haze beer from Treehouse Brewing. Actually, a very legendary brewery. Really hard to get. The only problem is it's like at least 4 months old.
Oh,
I know.
so
that
you
bad?
gonna
What's the-
actually shout out the person, or you're just saying shout out to your random coworker?
Shout out to my random coworker.
Nice.
What's the shelf life of like beers? in
I don't
general?
know. It has alcohol in it, so
Not
it must be
4
a lot.
months.
Well, I mean, I know like
There's you go to a liquor store. There's definitely like Miller or something that's been sitting there for like at least a year.
yeah.
I
like,
doubt that. I feel like that stuff's high turnover.
Yeah, but there's no expiration date on this stuff.
Yeah, because you drink it.
He's got a point.
Yeah, maybe.
I have a question, Farid.
Yeah, what's up?
It's kind of been bothering me all day. Inebriated analysis. What made you spell it with an A? Is it purely for alliteration's sake?
Oh,
Kind of. So it's also for an A because if you take the 2 letters of Oof. If you take the 2 letters of inebriated and analysis, you get AA, which has been the running pun we're going with.
Alcoholism.
Yeah, that's why
I like
Peter at the start says, welcome to the AA meeting you want to be at.
Hell yeah.
Plus, it made it really easy to get every single handle because no one is dumb enough to spell inebriated with an A.
I can respect that.
Yeah.
I'll take all the
My
all the
dad, my
rights
dad would like that.
to that name. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Peter came up with the name.
98% of the profits. No hate mail, please.
Yeah, you can have 98% of nothing. Actually, to be fair, we're running at a deficit.
Yeah.
A pretty big deficit.
I think my dad would really like that name, inebriated analysis. He's an alcoholic.
You want to maybe show up here, right? It's better than the other meetings he goes to, right?
I don't want him to like hit me here.
God. So,
I'm just gonna
oh,
yell at my
man.
dad.
So, guys, I was thinking to myself as a topic. You guys ever had a game that severely disappointed you? Like a video game?
Yes,
Absolutely.
Oh.
multiple times actually.
And I know that Bryson, you're a big fan of a lot of horror games too.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
And Rob, you're a.
Can you call me Bryce, please? My dad calls me son.
All right, Bryce, I'm sorry.
come like a little closer when you talk.
How close do you want me?
Not that close. Good. But like about this far away.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
Oh, you what's your most disappointing game, Rob?
Well, I'll just go ahead and get the cat out of the bag right now. I'll just go ahead and say it. The Last of Us Part 2 is a dog shit game.
Hell yeah.
Absolute trash. It's an embarrassment, honestly. That game is an embarrassment to like the legacy that The Last of Us Part 1 had left.
Sorry, guys, there might be spoilers,
Oh yes, spoiler alert. You don't want to get spoiled.
but it's a shit game anyway. So
Yeah.
It's probably not spoiling much, honestly. You could probably guess what happens.
Yeah, so like initially the game got like a lot of flack because there was like an hour and a half worth of cutscenes that were leaked, and it spoiled a lot of the game like before the game came out. And initially, like the whole running joke was like a tranny beats the shit out of Joel with a golf club, and they got so much hate. They're like, oh, they're shoehorning this like transgender person to like push a political agenda. But honestly, like I haven't played the game. I've watched a full playthrough of it with some of my favorite streamers.
That's what I did as well.
Yeah, and like honestly, like I don't think Abby's like overwhelming at all, but like the pacing, the story itself is kind of cliched, like the whole like revenge
It's just
thing.
a typical revenge story.
Typical revenge story.
Such a dumbed down plot coming off of the first game.
Yeah,
when did the last one come out?
I think 7 years ago.
2013, I think.
Yeah, 2013.
You guys believe that there is a
Wow.
certain
2014.
time that game should be like let's say a game, if you get the first game and then the second game hasn't come out for like over 5 years, Do you think it has way more to live up to than just because they had so long?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Kingdom Hearts 3
Oh,
in a second.
Oh no! All right, so this episode's going to be about 3 hours long.
All right, to be fair, no, Kingdom Hearts 3 did not disappoint me, but then it's just kind of a tangent there because Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, I believe, 2006, and here's Kingdom Hearts 3 in 2019.
I guess it's not like disappointing as a game in general, but it's
it
disappointing
had
for how
so
long
much-
it was.
It had so much hype to live up
Yep.
to, and
Yep.
you really have to try to lower your expectations at that point because nothing can live up to the height of
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because they had like I don't think I know of a single other like long story like that within like a single universe aside from like maybe Metal Gear Solid. But like Kingdom Hearts 3 had like 8 games that were
I
building
believe
on
it was
its
the
world and
10th.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just the first part of the story. They just wrapped up one saga.
Well, you forget that the mobile game, right?
That's
canon.
surprisingly, that is one of the most important aspects of the overarching
Yeah,
story.
you have no idea how important.
fucking hilarious.
Fucking mobile game, dude.
Kingdom
And it's
Hearts
fucking
Key.
canon.
Shameless plug. They just released a new mobile game, Kingdom Hearts Dark Road.
Oh, that's gonna be canon.
There we go.
It is. Oh, it absolutely is canon. It's telling the backstory of Xehanort for those who know.
All right.
I like it.
What about you, Farid? What's your most disappointing game?
It's so disappointing I haven't even played it, but Fallout 76.
Oh no! Oh no!
Continue.
Really,
Go ahead.
oh, there's just a lot of controversy with the game itself. I didn't think that Bethesda could make a game that's traditionally a single-player game into a fun multiplayer game. They sucked with their reward system, and the fact, there was the whole canvas bag scandal.
Oh my god.
There
Duffel
was...
kerfuffle.
What else do they have? Was it the...
The Nuka Coke
the
bottle
Nuka-
New
Yes.
Cola Dark Rum.
with the shittiest rum that you could fucking get.
Yeah, it's pretty shitty. The bottle is.
Plastic.
But to be fair,
plastic.
it's not about the rum on the inside. It was just the aesthetics of the bottle that was, everyone thought it was going to be a glass bottle, and their defense was, we never said it was glass.
They also said like it cost them like 3 times the amount to make it plastic instead of glass.
That makes sense, because glass blowing is so easy to do.
So,
Well-
do your
well-
disappointments lie more in like the merchandise or the game itself?
Well, because of how poorly they handled the merchandising side of it, it turned me off of playing the game.
Oh, that's completely fair.
And then the first week of reviews that I heard, it was a really buggy, just broken system that was very pay to play.
As someone who pre-ordered the game,
Oh no!
No.
Did you get the Power Armor edition?
absolutely.
Oh man!
No, I got the like step up from the normal one. I think it was called like the Tricentennial edition. You get an extra like $15-20 of DLC or something
For an extra $20.
I played it, I think, for like 2 days.
Yeah.
Game was empty and not good, and they recently updated to add actual NPCs to the game.
Crazy.
And now they have like a roadmap for like continued support that they're adding to the game. It's actually fun as fuck. Game plays just like a Fallout game now. You play with your friends. It's a ton of fun. So like at launch, game sucked. It's trash.
Yep.
But now the game's completely fine.
Yeah, that's the same deal with No Man's Sky, from what I've heard.
Yeah, I got a
Yeah,
bunch
the
of friends
game-
who just downloaded it and are saying that it's a lot better than it was.
So-
Yeah, I actually was thinking about picking it up. It's on sale. It's like $20 right now on Steam.
I believe it's also on the Xbox Game Pass too.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it is.
Case in point, release a game finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a class action lawsuit against
Why are you
them.
messing with my mic, guy?
You're too far away.
I understand.
Yeah.
You kind of want to get like.
No, not that. No, Rob, please don't.
You want to get real close.
You want to get really close.
Peter, please don't. I will zap you.
What's that?
That's a deadly weapon.
It is.
say
The
my
problem
favorite
is I don't know which headphone. Oh wait, no, I know which headphone you are.
Let's talk
You're
about
the-
this. I'm sorry. That sucked. Ow.
Rob, I swear I will get you too. Yeah, does that feel good?
I'm pretty sure this mic is picking up the noise that's coming out of my headphones. In case for the viewers, Fair just blew my ears out.
Yeah. For those listening on the audio podcast, I have a headphone amplifier over here, and when someone decides to do things I don't approve of, I blast the audio in their ears, and it's like a shock collar but with noise.
My noise.
I haven't had it
collar.
happen to me yet, but I bet it's not.
You have no control here, demon.
So
Anyway,
Yeah,
What's,
disappointing games.
Yeah.
So No Man's Sky, really? They're so what they do to make it good?
Finished it.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with like the exact things that they've done, but from what I understand, they added a lot of features that made it feel less empty.
Here, look up. Can you pull up the reviews on it right now? I just want to see.
Kind of a similar situation in No Man's Sky as Sea of Thieves. Which,
Oh,
I mean, honestly,
yeah.
for me, wasn't too disappointing at the
Yeah.
release. There just wasn't a whole lot to do.
Yeah, from what I heard with Sea of Thieves, I wanted to play it, but they were like, you pretty much just do some missions, get some stuff.
Get some
and
treasure.
That's pretty much
Fuck
it.
around as a pirate.
Guys,
get drunk
It's
with your buddies.
it's Pirate Simulator.
Yeah, but now there's more stuff to do that I can even, comprehend. Like there's a shit ton of stuff to do.
Yeah, we can
So,
see.
someone plays that game a lot.
No Man's Sky. You can go to the Metacritic, and you can see like overall versus like current, I believe. Or is that Steam?
Metacritic
Oh,
has it
man.
at a 61 and
Yes.
a 3.2 user score.
Got review bombed hard.
Oh yeah.
The problem with No Man's Sky was that they really did not. They were a small group of people, and they did not have like anybody who was like publicity / HR, right?
It was almost false advertising too. The game they were
Oh,
advertising.
yeah.
was
They
not
promised
released.
way too much.
Yeah.
How
So,
small
so
they
the thing is, the guy who did like all the publicity was also like the lead developer.
Oh
And
yeah.
he is through and through a complete nerd, just a straight like developer. He is not great at public speaking or talking to crowds. He tried his best, so applause to him. But they should have gotten somebody who knew.
It's a vast open world. We can meet your friends in the edge of space.
Yeah, that was one of the big ones. They promised that you could meet, like you could either like somebody was like, "Oh,
By
can you like
chance.
meet other people?"
You want to come in a little bit?
And they were and what he said was, "Well, it's very unlikely, but it is possible."
And it was not
Nope.
possible.
The game came out, and there was these two streamers that literally went to the same exact place in the world, and they could not see each other.
Oh shit! I just thought of a game that was disappointing.
What
to me.
is your most disappointing game? though?
most disappointing game? Bioshock Infinite.
Oh,
Very- hold up,
I know.
hold up.
I heard
Wait
the
a
same
minute.
thing. I
Hold up,
know.
hold up.
Wait a second.
I-
wait
I-
a second.
Bioshock is my second favorite franchise of all time. I have fucking notes on this shit because I thought hardcore about this.
He's pulling out his phone.
I'm pulling out my phone because I've got notes. Anyway, so Bioshock Infinite I recognize is a good game and is very deserving of the praise that it gets from the fan community and from
Okay.
actual reviews itself.
right.
But for me, it was very disappointing coming off of what Bioshock 1 and 2 were, simply because there was a lot of things missing that I felt were kind of core aspects of what Bioshock was.
You are a horror game fan, right?
I am a horror game fan.
I can
However,
see that.
that is not one of them. I'm just
What?
going to put my
Really?
phone away. I'm just going to...
Wait, Bioshock's a horror game?
Bioshock 1 is a psychological horror game.
Interesting.
Very philosophical as well. I mean, they all are very philosophical, but it wasn't the lack of horror aspect that was disappointing to me. The environment itself was beautiful. The visuals were fantastic. One of my favorite parts of the whole game itself was the setting. It's also one of the most disappointing things was the setting, and what I mean by that is in the first two games, the city of Rapture itself is very much the main character, arguably the main character of the story, just because there was so much lore, so much backstory behind it. There was reasons for why the city existed, why it had to be underwater, who created it. You find out all this information through audio logs, going through the story itself. It kind of just unfolds. The mystery of the city
World
just unfolds.
building.
The world building is fantastic in the first two games. And there just wasn't a whole lot of that in Bioshock Infinite. Like, yeah, Columbia's sweet. We know who kind of founded Columbia, but there wasn't a whole lot as to, why it had to be in the sky, the whole motives behind it and all of that.
It's very out there versus Rapture. Just doesn't really continue Rapture.
Yeah, I mean, there's the
They-
DLCs for Bioshock Infinite, which I think are a lot better than the main game.
Yeah,
itself.
they do also tie in why it doesn't exactly continue Rapture at the end of the game, right?
They do. Yeah. Okay, you're right.
They do
Yeah.
explain that.
But then, as far as like game mechanics themselves go, like in Bioshock 1 and 2, you've got access to your entire arsenal, all of your weapons. In Bioshock Infinite, you get 2 at a time. And I was so disappointed with that because in Bioshock 1 and 2, you come across a new setting, a non-linear setting, mind you. In Bioshock Infinite, they're all very linear. So a non-linear setting, you get to see the lay of the land and kind of figure out how you want to approach each combat situation, especially in Bioshock 2 when you have to harvest the little sisters. You get to set up before you do that. There's going to be a horde of splicers coming at you. You set up your traps. You got access to all of your weapons, all of your plasmids, and everything to do that. And, so the game played differently every time. You could set up different ways to approach each situation. And
Yeah, there was. I think there was like multiple endings that you could get to, right?
Yeah,
based
yeah.
on like if you saved the little sisters or if you like killed them.
Yeah, I think there was 3 endings to both games: a good, a bad, and a neutral. So I mean, like the idea of choice, obviously, in a meta sense from the first game, very much too played a huge part, and not as big a part in Bioshock Infinite, because you're playing a named character, a voiced character. You're doing things through Booker's eyes and how he would approach situations, not how you would. Your range of choice is very limited. Ironically enough, in a game all about choice, or philosophically all about choice.
Yeah.
It's really refreshing to hear that because like I love Bioshock Infinite.
Same.
Yeah.
I remember even playing the ending and watching it. I didn't like play another game for at least like a few days because I was just
Mind blown.
I was comprehending what the fuck happened.
Yeah, I remember watching the ending and I just sat in my chair for like 10 minutes and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And but it's different, I guess, from someone who's a much more hardcore Bioshock. Are you playing footsie with me, dude? Are you serious?
Farid, stop playing footsie with him. That's weird.
God, that's weird.
If we're talking about annoying things, Peter, when you're not talking, can you just back up a bit? I can hear you breathing.
I gotta get closer. Peter's gotta back up.
You need to
Yeah,
get
you're
closer because like your audio waves are probably the weakest of them all.
That's fair.
Bro, your audio waves are so weak,
audio
bro.
Your moves are weak.
Bro, get your audio wave game on point.
There
bro.
were no audio waves.
But no, that is interesting.
Yeah,
In me taking it in, I'm like, I always have this definition like it's a really, really good game. But
also, two things that were missing from Bioshock Infinite that were also very critical to the first one were hacking, non-existent.
Yep.
And fuck, I can't think of what the other thing was now. Anyway, well,
There
hacking
was like the
game.
power up system too, which I thought in
the weapon upgrade system very lackluster in Infinite because you just buy them at vending machines, which are fucking spread out everywhere throughout the world. In Bioshock 1 and 2, you find the weapon upgrade machine, you're like, oh shit, this is gonna be a tough choice. What the hell do I upgrade? And they were accompanied by a sweet visual upgrade on your weapon too. So like it not only did it make your weapon actually more powerful and impactful, it actually felt that way because you could see the upgrade on your gun. You don't get that in Bioshock Infinite.
I guess what I found hilarious in Bioshock Infinite is you're right, because since a lot of the powers are bought at vending machines,
I remember the other thing that was missing once you're done.
It's do you know how in the city of what was it, Columbia?
Columbia.
Right, in the city of Columbia, they had that power where you can like kind of mind control somebody and have them like attack stuff for you. They had like posters and stuff advertising for that, right? And I'm like, so you're advertising brainwashing?
It's common. Yeah, it's commonplace.
Hey, your friend giving you a hard time? Make him agree with you.
Yep.
The special, what was it called, Vigor?
Yeah, the Vigors.
Vigors.
Vigor.
Vigor.
World building on the Vigors was nowhere near up to par to the
no,
Plasmids
not even
either.
close. Yeah, not even close.
But yeah, the other aspect that was missing from Bioshock Infinite was the whole research. In the first 2 games, you get the research camera. In the first one, it's just you're taking pictures, but in the second one, you're recording the interactions to learn more about the characters themselves. Like that's kind of like what you're doing is you're learning more about the enemies, so you can get upgrades essentially, but learn more about their weaknesses, so to speak. So like the hacking and the research, non-existent in Bioshock Infinite. And just like with No Man's Sky, it was not the game that was advertised. All the first trailers, gameplay trailers, and everything. I got so excited for the game because it looked so cool. And I don't remember when it was, but it was very close to the end of its development cycle. They just like flipped the switch and like redid everything. And so the game that they released was not what was advertised. Also, ultimately leading to one of the more disappointing things about it.
They did that with The Last of Us Part 2 as well. If you notice, there's a point where you're kind of you're chasing after Abby, the people who like murdered Joel, and there's a point in the game where like Ellie gets her mouth covered, and just like trying to keep her quiet, and she turns around and she sees Jesse there, who is like Dina's ex-boyfriend, also the father of her child, right? But in the trailer, what happens is you see that scene where she gets her mouth covered up, and she turns around and it cuts to a scene of Joel.
Yeah, that's more so perception of the game. The developers don't want to give you everything in the trailers. They want to kind of get you thinking or kind of lead you astray. The scene itself is basically the same, just did the different character there.
I would
So
say it
They,
borders
a
on,
lot of game companies do that a lot with their trailers, where they change some aspects so you don't get hints as to what actually happens in the story. He's a poster guy.
This is a camera, so they can see what you're like motioning.
Yeah, I
He
know.
was he was motioning for me to put it down quieter. So like,
Yeah,
just
please don't do
Yeah,
that,
please,
Rob.
come on.
Please.
look at that
Yeah,
clip, dude.
please don't do that, because I do not have the editing capabilities to take care of that
You
in
can
post.
what I did is I wrote down timestamps that helped me a lot when
Yeah,
I was
you know what I'm
editing
gonna
their
do?
podcast.
Sure, you're going to
Try
transform
not
this into
slamming,
a school for editing.
No, I'm just saying.
No,
it's,
yeah,
it's
here,
pretty,
tell
it's
us what they should do, huh?
commonplace to write down the.
What if I'm really loud? Like, what should they do?
Marks,
Here, please
the time
don't.
marks of like
Please
when
don't.
things happen, you can cut it out pretty easily. Just boom. Oh, look, here's the minute 26, second 30. It's here you go. See.
Yeah.
I'll be quieter though. I mean, I guess.
I mean, I'm not asking you to be quieter. You're talking great. It's just slamming your bottle on the table.
I'll try to be more aware of my bottle slamming capabilities.
Thanks. Here, I'll take that.
Oh, I was gonna put it on
There's
the
one
floor.
last thing about Bioshock Infinite that was disappointing to me. The gear itself. I don't know if you remember, like the hats and boots and stuff that you got.
Yeah.
Yeah, barely, right?
Yeah, you
They-
I
They
actually
had-
I don't even remember
They had
that. To be
less
honest.
than zero impact.
No,
on
I had
the
to think about that for a moment when you did mention it.
There was maybe one of each that was like, okay, this is kind of cool, I'll use it, and every other one was just literal dog shit and did not affect you in any way, shape, or form. Like there was no
Yeah.
reason to play the game and try out different ones a second time, any different than you did the first. Again, kind of limiting that. You have the choices, but like, do you really?
Yeah, I guess it did feel more like a story as opposed to like a role playing game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can definitely see
But,
that.
while overall it was disappointing to me because Bioshock 1 and 2 and, everything they built up was, two of my favorite all-time games ever. I still got to acknowledge, where it excels. The visuals are fantastic. The gunplay is great and fast-paced. It's hella fun.
What do you think about the story? Because I've heard two coins. Like personally, I really liked the story, but I've also heard people say that it kind of felt like they just kind of threw that twist at you at the end, and it almost didn't make sense.
I would
to
have
some
liked
people.
the story a lot more if they kind of delved into Songbird a bit more and, exactly what the fuck that thing was.
Yeah,
I
with
could
Big
believe
Daddy
that.
and all that.
It's like you're like, instead of making a really complex story, let me just give a really ambiguous ending.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think Songbird was pretty much just he was there to almost control and.
Yeah, we know why he was there. It was basically he was Elizabeth's protector, so to speak.
Yeah, to
But
prevent her
we
from.
never learned about like how he came to be the creation of that.
True,
Like
yeah,
with
they
Big
never
Daddies
explained
in the
that.
first ones. There's, go back to the audio logs again. There's audio logs that explain them. There's a whole DLC in Bioshock 2 about the first one, Minerva's Den, which is one of the best standalone DLCs I've ever played story wise. But like Songbird is just kind of like, yeah, here's Songbird. He's Elizabeth's
protector.
guardian. He's the watch. He watches over her. Okay, cool. What is it?
What is it exactly?
What is it?
Yeah, I kind of feel like the focus was less on world building and more on just let me blow your fucking mind right now.
Yeah. Which the story, barring some of those, was actually really interesting.
Yeah,
Still
I
very
liked it a lot.
philosophical.
I
like
liked
the
it a
first
lot.
two.
Yeah.
There's a hell of a ton of thinking that goes involved if you want to delve into the philosophical sides. There's a whole book on the philosophy of Bioshock, which is a great read.
What's that?
I think it's just called Bioshock and Philosophy. But it goes into the different philosophical theories touched on in all three of the games and just kind of expands on what they were trying to do with them. Really, really.
That sounds. I might read
book.
that.
And
Sounds
before
pretty
this
interesting.
turns into a
Bioshock
Bioshock, Bioshock review
Okay,
episode.
so speaking of disappointing games, are you guys excited or overhyped or regular hyped for Cyberpunk?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. I'm really
How many
excited.
years has it been?
A lot. I think the first trailer was 2013.
The first trailer was a long time ago. I think it was before The Witcher came out. Even
Yeah, it might have been.
yeah, it was just a very ambiguous trailer.
So not that I don't trust it's going to be good. I have more confidence than I do not that it is going to be.
Farid's looking up Cyberpunk now.
But
it's all one word.
But 7 years is a very long time.
Yeah.
Some could say last.
It only had 2 original release dates.
Okay, so
April
what am I looking
16th of
for?
this year.
Oh, it's
Kinda
already
got
out?
delayed.
I'm not
No.
looking for
Oh,
that.
Yeah,
April
it's already
16th.
out. Yeah.
It's already out. What am I doing here?
I got that for your birthday.
I gotta go, guys.
Yeah, I just
Did you?
played,
Did
yeah,
you?
I just put it on my Steam and played it.
Oh shit.
How was it? It was okay.
So
Yeah,
the
I'm
original
really hoping
trailer
this game
was
lands because it
on
looks really
January
good.
10th, 2013.
Yeah, this is the trailer that was
And
Let's
you
go
can
down.
imagine how far we've come in terms of like graphics performance and
Oh, yeah.
everything to come out in 2013.
Yeah, they are supporting ray tracing and as well as DLSS, which is kind of a huge deal. DLSS 2.0 to be specific, which is a big deal because DLSS, the previous 2.0 version, was kind of shit.
What about DSLs? 2.0.
DLS.
So DLSS, okay, I'm going to speak slowly. It stands for Deep Learning Super Sampling. Okay.
What?
Okay.
You can see the gears turning in Peter's
So basically what it is DLSS is they use artificial intelligence to upscale an image from, say, like 1080p to 4K. And what that does is it saves you a lot of frame rate because rendering just straight 4K takes a lot of GPU power. So being able to use AI to like upscale it makes a huge difference in terms of like your frame rate and what your graphics card can do.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with lips?
What? I don't understand the question.
Peter's talking about DSLs, not
Oh, sorry.
DLSS.
Selective,
Dick sucking lips. Yeah.
selective hearing. My
Right.
apologies. So they're gonna, and the one thing about I saw about like ray tracing, especially. I remember we were at our friend's house, and he was showing us was it Quake 2?
Yeah, the Quake 2, they added complete full ray tracing, global shadows, reflections,
So
everything.
that's cool. But he also was telling me that ray tracing riles up his graphics card like no other.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like, now because I was thinking about eventually buying a new graphics card. I'm like, well, if this 90, when did Quake 2 come out?
Quake 2?
It was Quake 2, right?
I think it was just the original
Oh,
Quake.
so Quake 1.
I think it was Quake 1.
This
1997.
1997 game, remaster of ray tracing. I don't know enough about the issue. I'm just wondering, or the topic. If a 1997 game, remastered using ray tracing, is eating up a 2080 Ti.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think he has a Ti. I think he just has a regular 2080.
Sure.
I'm not sure.
I thought you spent like that. Okay.
Regardless,
I'm like
a very expensive graphics
So like,
card.
what if it's like a game from like 2005, and we're gonna need like 5 of those to like?
Well, keep in mind. So the thing with Quake is that so first of all, keep in mind that ray tracing is a very new technology. It hasn't really been done before. That the 20 series is the first series to ever support ray tracing, right? So not only do they have to improve the graphics card architecture and optimize that, the game developers also have to learn how to work with ray tracing. So it's still in its early stages. But yeah, also with Quake, it is full ray tracing. So that means global illumination, reflections, shadows, all that stuff is realistic to how lighting would normally work in real life. In a lot of games, like for example, Battlefield, I think Battlefield supports just reflections. So you'll have realistic reflections, and that makes a much less of an impact on your graphics card than like full global illumination like that.
That could be true. Yeah, I could see that actually. And
I don't know if it's a mod or something, but did you guys know Minecraft has ray tracing?
Yeah, that's official. That is not a mod.
Fuck yeah.
I have never found, because I never really wanted to play Minecraft. I never really did play, but every time someone's like, "Hey, do you want to play Minecraft?" Right? And I'm like, "Why?" I've never gotten a convincing argument. Maybe you guys can give me something a little bit better.
Me and the boys are ripping Minecraft fucking daily right now.
Grinding or that rep in Minecraft, bro.
It's all about flexing your creativity muscles.
Oh, that's your house, bro. I mean,
your
I
house is
guess
fucking
that's
dogs.
okay.
I already play a game where I gamble in order to flex in front of my friends. Okay.
No, I think Minecraft is more just
CS:GO?
for creativity.
Doken.
Yeah.
Doken.
Oh,
It's
God.
just mindless
It's not mindless, dude. It's pretty fun.
Well, I mean, yeah, it definitely is a lot of fun.
No, it's
but,
not
like,
mindless.
it
It's
can be.
Minecraft.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I
'Cause
see.
I remember-
Okay, that's the difference.
I remember, was it 2-3 years ago? When did we all play on that server on Xbox?
Oh God.
You remember which one I'm talking about?
I think I do.
For Minecraft?
Yeah. So Jeremy, myself, was Brett on there as well?
Probably.
So we had a small group of our friends, and we were all on a Minecraft server, and it was a lot of fun. I mean,
yeah, I fucking love that game.
yeah, you guys had a
It's great just to get everyone in a party and just hang out and talk while you're fucking punching some trees.
yeah.
Can you show that pour to the camera really quick, Peter? Like right up here. Yeah, just show.
Walk right up to it.
This is all foam. This is beer.
So for
This
our
is-
audio podcast listeners, Peter poured himself a beer, and about 2/3 of it is head.
Yep.
I like a lot of head.
To be fair, though, Rob, I would like to argue that that's actually the proper way to pour a beer.
I would like to argue that that's incorrect.
I'm in agreement that is incorrect.
I'd like to show you a video. There's a pretty compelling video
Oh?
that I watched.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to describe it because
We are a
I'm not-
reaction channel.
Yeah, this is a reaction channel. For those of you who don't know, we were considering just reacting to our first podcast, instead of just like doing another podcast. But what's this video?
So there's a video talking about the proper way to pour a beer, and what the guy did is he poured a beer into a cup, and there was no head. And he said, this is typically what people describe as the perfect pour. He then said, here's what people consider a pour. And then he poured a beer into a cup, and it was all head. And he was making the argument that pouring it and getting a head is better for your stomach, because he then proceeded to take a piece of bread into the beer that had not had any head and agitated the beer around, which then caused all the carbonation to create a whole bunch of head. And he was saying by doing that now, while the beer is not in your stomach, it would can't remember the terminology he was using, but he was basically saying that by doing that, the effect of the carbonation is not going into your stomach. You're just getting rid of that like bad carbonation from the get-go.
Well, I guess health wise.
Can you pull up the Forbes article where you found that on?
Eat a dick. I think the argument, at least for me, is more like the beer tends to taste better when you have that carbonation in there.
Yeah, but you drink PBR.
I like PBR. Doesn't mean
Yeah, I know, but it's
okay.
like
Beer
My Mountain
snob.
Dew is
I'm just
My
saying.
disappointment is
Sorry, I
miserable,
don't
and my
spend
date.
$50 on like a barrel aged bourbon stout.
How much was the
wood-aged
bitches
IPA.
brew?
Listen, I bought this because you're like, oh, we want to drink beer. It's about beer, so I bought this. So I bought it because I like the Jazz album by Miles Davis, Bitches Brew. You should listen to it. It's amazing.
Just so you know, for the podcast, you could literally drink anything alcoholic, or in Jeremy's situation,
balls.
Balls.
yeah, Dino was talking about actually bringing hard liquor on the show and
I'd be down for
using that as a drink to sip on, but
But we all have
Sip
some water.
on hard liquor.
yeah, that got a little
Staying
too
hydrated with the boys.
Staying hydrated. Oh man. You type it like 2 words per minute. There you go.
thanks. I was
Yeah, you don't have a mechanical keyboard. You can't type fast enough.
I need
Listen,
to find
dude,
the video
mechanical
first.
keyboards are amazing.
Mechanical keyboards. Look at me. I'm
You have a
Rob.
fucking mechanical keyboard,
Yeah, I
asshole. Like, what do you mean?
I don't know why, but that just reminded me back when I was in elementary school, middle school maybe. We were doing something in the computer lab, and my teacher's like, "Oh, you type very fast. Where'd you learn to type?" And I legitimately just said RuneScape.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, is that some kind of like typing game?" I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah, you can call it that.
more or less."
I type on a
speaking
Logitech
of
Wave.
typing fast,
Quick, Rob, what's half of 99?
I don't fucking know.
It's 92.
40.
Farid knows.
It's 92.
Actually.
It's a RuneScape meme.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so in the game of RuneScape,
Shut up, you cock smooch.
I don't know this meme.
in the game of RuneScape, 99 is the maximum level you can receive in any single
Oh,
skill.
so the XP.
The XP
yeah.
to get to 92 it's actually not half of 99.
Not exact. no.
It's not exact, but it's basically the amount of XP it takes to get to level 92 is the halfway point to getting to level 99.
That's kind of crazy.
yeah, fuck that.
The craziest part is I've never had a stat at 92.
Didn't
Yeah,
some guy just get everything to like
Oh, there's
99?
plenty. There are
No,
plenty.
no, no.
Yeah.
Not just
I used
99.
to play a good
Multiple
amount of
times
RuneScape,
over.
honestly.
Yeah, so sorry to interrupt you, Rob. 99 is about 13 million experience. There was a guy who recently maxed out every stat in experience, which is 200 million. And just so you know, there are some skills like rune crafting, which is capped at a maximum XP rate of somewhere around 50,000 XP per hour. And this guy got 200 million.
How long?
You want to do the math? You pull up the calculator on your Macintosh.
I don't have a Macintosh. This is a...
That's an.
Well, you can just do 200 divided by 5. And
That's
add the
not a
number of
PC.
zeros
Oh, it is a
left over.
PC.
Yeah, it is.
Wait, why are you running a
200
PC on your
million, take off
Apple?
2 of them?
I don't have an Apple.
Wait,
It's
is it
a
not?
Windows device.
Dude, this straight
It's
up
a
is-
Windows device. It's used
Are
for
you guys
gaming.
seeing this? This looks like an Apple computer.
It does.
So 200 million divided by 50,000, for example.
4,000 hours.
Yeah, 4,000 hours.
Yeah, 4,000 hours. Divide that by divide that by
Hi, my
24.
name's Jeremy. I'm good at math.
166 days. worth
And
of
that's at
playtime.
max efficiency. Another thing to note that makes this an even crazier accomplishment, in any skill that you can't buy to advance that skill, so some skills you can advance by spending a whole bunch of money, some skills you cannot. For the skills that you cannot, the skills and those skills have a pet associated with them. Randomly, you can get a pet. There's a really weird chance of it. Nothing's guaranteed. This guy that got 200 million in every single category, which is what, 20 times, right?
Something like
20
that.
times the maximum
Yeah.
to get 90, or the minimum to get 99. The guy has 200 million every single stat, does not have every pet in the game.
I used to play a little bit of RuneScape myself, a good amount when I was a kid. Oh, I lost my account because I don't remember the password, but I do remember. I think my name was like Zezima or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really.
You know that account.
No shit.
Yeah, I don't. I played a little bit. I didn't really.
That account is actually permanently locked right now.
Why?
Well, the problem is when you have a name like, I think it's pronounced Zezima.
That's how I always pronounce it.
Well, I made it. It's pronounced Zezima. Thank you.
So we'll call it Zezima because that's how I knew it as a kid. When you create an account like that, because the account was so old, his login was Zezima. It's pretty obvious. Everyone knows what that is. So a lot of people tried brute forcing their way into that account.
Oh no!
And because there were so many attempts at it, the account gets locked, like any good service provider will. So they told the guy, they said, hey, we'll give you the ability to change your login information. It won't affect your in-game name. Just the way you log in, you can set it to an email that no one else would know, and that's it. And he said no. And because of that, his account to this day is locked.
I
Rest in
once
peace.
forced my way into someone's account on that game. It was pretty easy. I literally just typed in a random name. I shit you not. I typed in Chris Angel 56. Can you guess what the password was?
Chris Angel 56.
No,
Black
Mind
man.
Freak. One try too. I got it and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
That's really good.
Mind freak.
He didn't have a lot of stuff, but I took it all. If you're watching this, Chris Angel 56, I'm not sorry.
Chris
Set a
Angel
better
56.
Oh, God.
This
Fucking
guy's
love
gonna see his
RuneScape.
podcast like 20 years from now because it's not gonna be
That
popular,
rat
and he's gonna be like,
bastard.
That's my fucking account. Wait a
fucker.
fucking minute. Hey, you can't do that.
So, just wanted to go backtrack a little bit. Talk about our weeks. It's been a really weird week.
It's been a week.
It has.
Yeah. It's been a weird week. Yeah.
I'd like to start off with a story that happened to me just about after we filmed our last podcast. So last Saturday, my girlfriend and I decided to take a trip to Mexico, and while on the road on our way back, we're driving on the highway. Oh, I fell. There it is. And on our way back, we found this M3, and I really like BMW M3s. They're really pretty cars. And this he's hauling, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna keep up with the dude. So we're having fun. We're weaving through traffic. On average, I think we did about 100 miles an hour the entire way home. And at one point, I kid you not, we're doing, I think, 110, and this guy decides to just gun it. And the amount of accelerate, I couldn't believe how fast this dude accelerated, because we're doing, like I said, we're doing about 110. This guy's gone. He's like 12 car lengths ahead of me. So finally, he slows down, I catch up, and like I said, the entire way we're doing about 100 miles an hour. As we're getting ready to leave, I start pulling off the left-hand lane, making my two rights to get towards the exit, and I'm about to pass up this car on my left, and I look, it's a normal car, And I take a second look and I see the license plate. It was a state trooper. So at this point, I'm like, I'm going to slow down a little bit before I pass up a cop. So I do that. And then next to me, this BMW X3 that was driving, with us for a little bit. That guy decides to go just past me. He didn't speed past me, but he was going faster than I was, faster than the flow of traffic. Next thing I know, cop starts turning right towards me. I was like, no. Lights pop. And I'm like, oh. I'm getting popped, and I'm just thinking, like, where did he catch me? Because that'll determine how bad this is.
Yeah.
But it was weird. I've never had a cop pull me over and not be in the same lane as me. He was in the lane over. So it's like, okay, is this guy trying to pull me and someone else over? And I'm like, I'm close enough to my exit, so I just keep creeping towards my exit. Next thing I notice, I look back, the cop pulled over the BMW X5.
Oh my God.
There you go.
The M3 that was doing God knows what, maybe 150 at some point.
Yes.
And myself, scot-free.
Because
Poor dude who decided to
you
just...
had that VTEC on there, right?
Yeah,
I know car memes.
VTEC. But, yeah, that really got the heart racing because I was like,
Oh, man.
I thought I was going to get popped. And I did it, and I started laughing. So karma's going to get me back for that.
Well, karma. I don't think you did anything wrong necessarily.
I was laughing at
Because
someone else's
They were driving
misfortune.
fast cars.
Yep, driving fast cars.
Car. Oh.
If there's anything I've learned from watching, Fast
I'll
and
see
Furious,
myself out.
because I don't know anything else about cars.
I wonder if you know
How we live in Tokyo. And if you press the nitrous last, you win the race.
Yeah,
Am I
early,
right?
kid. Too early, kid. That's the meme.
Yeah, that's is that the meme?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Fast and Furious movie where like they're racing and one of the newer racers pops his nos.
No shit, a Fast
And
and
he
Furious
gets
movie about
ahead
racing.
of him and he's like, "Oh, I'm winning." And then the guy in the other car goes, "Too early, kid."
Too
And
soon,
then he
Junior.
pops his nos and he passes him and he
Was
wins.
that Vin Diesel in there?
It actually wasn't.
No, was not Vin Diesel.
Yeah. Funny enough, the cars you're referring to were a Volkswagen Jetta that was racing against a Honda S2000. And if you watch the video, this is a really stupid car fact. The Volkswagen Jetta does not have brake calipers. Brake calipers are the thing that hold your brake pads. So that means that car had no way of stopping.
Yeah, brake calipers.
So what about
Calipers.
Caterpillars.
you? Yes.
Brake caterpillars.
Don't break caterpillars.
So what about you, Jeremy? What'd you do this
I'm
week?
a human being. Thanks for asking.
What?
You said, I am almost 100% sure you said, "What are you?"
Listen,
No,
those,
so-
those balls are
Did
getting
I say
to you.
what are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you said, "What
Oh,
are
God.
you?" We'll find
I
out.
thought
in
you
editing.
said. I thought you said, "How's your week?"
Yeah, I thought I said.
Well, after he said, "What are you?"
Oh.
Unless I'm just going fucking insane.
What are
Like, those
you?
balls are getting to you.
What
Jeremy,
are
you're getting a little
you?
too drunk there.
Yeah, getting drunk off those balls.
I
You
also
fooled
did
me. I
just
thought
call
you were like
Dino.
I thought you were like a reptilian with like a human skin
I'm not
suit
Mark
on.
Zuckerberg.
He's Danny Phantom.
I am Danny Phantom. Thank you. But yeah, my week. It's been a week. For those who know me, I've been very tired. It's not out of the norm.
You usually like really tired most of the day.
Most of the day.
Yeah,
And
me
then
too.
when like
Me
3
too.
a.m. rolls around, I'm fucking ready to go.
Yeah.
But not bad, not too good. At work, we just reopened on Wednesday. So
Where do you work?
I manage a business called Mathnasium, the Math Learning Center.
Wow.
We make math make sense.
Wow.
But yeah, anyway, we've been doing, ever since COVID went down, been doing online with all of our students, and that's been a nightmare and a half. But we just reopened the center on Wednesday. So now we're doing online and in center, which is 2 nightmares and a half.
Damn.
But I mean, still working at least, so thankful for that.
Do you work like nights usually, or do you work days?
Mondays and Wednesdays, evenings and nights.
Ooh.
Tuesday, Thursdays, mornings.
Okay, it sounds like that's ideal for you.
Is that because of COVID that you
No,
guys do
that's
nights and
just our
evenings?
normal summer hours.
Huh.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But people have schedules all over the place, so we're trying to be accommodating to everyone.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Jeremy is very smart when it comes to math. Case in point, when we were talking about doing 200 million divided by 12, by 12 million?
50,000?
Oh, by 50,000, was that it? Yeah. Jeremy was doing that in his head while I was using a calculator, and he still got it up before me.
That's a pretty quick calculation because 50 is like a pretty easy.
Yeah, well, 50,000's got 4 zeros, so just drop the 4 zeros from the 200 million and divide whatever's left over.
Yeah.
I'm too stupid for
You have
that.
no idea what he's
20,000 by
talking about,
5.
Peter. Don't even.
What about you, Rev? How's your week?
Absolutely nothing.
Well, similar to Bryson.
He's been gearing up for the podcast.
Yeah, I've been gearing up for the podcast. I spent a lot of my week kind of indoors.
Me too.
So I'm kind of a drama frog.
What is that?
I like drama. Like, I don't participate in drama,
Okay.
but I like watching it unfold.
Yeah.
One of the big things that happened was on Twitch. There was a lot of things that happened. There was multiple sexual assault, rape allegations.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Came up.
We talked about that last time, I think.
Nope.
No.
No. We're talking about the lawsuit that happened. This is totally different.
Yeah, that was a huge thing. There was easily dozens of like sexual assault, rape allegations that came upon various live streamers, stuff like that. Also, Twitch staff. There was some allegations against like one of them. I think his name was Hassan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was a lot of allegations against him. Which, by the way, Twitch has not put out like a statement or fired him or done anything about it.
Yeah, Twitch doesn't seem to be the kind of brand that cares about that.
Yeah, they're owned by Microsoft. Like their CEO, I forget what his name is.
Twitch is owned by Microsoft?
Wait,
Sorry,
Mixer.
No, that's Mixer.
Amazon. Amazon is what I meant to say. Excuse
Okay.
me. Yeah, they're owned by
Plot
Amazon.
thickens.
So yeah, they're pretty much concerned with money. There was all these like sexual assault allegations, and some of them I'll just like sidetrack here with before going to the rest of my week. A lot of them, I think that's a super important movement because I think a lot of men and women both will take these situations and minimize them and kind of not talk about them and kind of shove them down and like not think too much about them. So I think it's a really important movement. But I've also noticed that there's a lot of false allegations that were going around.
I mean, I think that's the problem with the Court of Public Appeals. I understand that everyone has a right to say what's wrong and no one should be abused in any way, shape, or form. But we have a tendency to, instead of taking the proper legal actions, because I don't know if it's because people are afraid to do it or they don't think they've got a good enough case, they just decide to air their dirty laundry out in the public and people make their opinions real quick. I'm trying to think, and I really wish I could remember the example, but there was an example of someone who was accused. This dude named Slazo, who runs a YouTube channel where he does like Reddit videos, those kind of videos where they read stories from Reddit.
Oh yeah,
where they narrate Reddit
I've
stories.
seen this before.
Yeah, so Slazo was accused of sexually assaulting his ex-girlfriend. His friends came out and publicly disowned him, and they said, we can't stand for someone like this. And people kind of made their opinions known real quick. They decided to cancel Slazo, negatively affecting him, his brand, and his reputation. And it ended up turning out that the allegations were false. It took Slazo a bit longer than most were anticipating for him to respond, and he was able to dispel the false accusations. But at that point, the damage is already done.
Yeah.
I think that that term.
Innocent till proven guilty?
Innocent till proven guilty is not very put to mind.
No,
when
it's
it comes
guilty
to-
until proven innocent.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and
It's because the system doesn't work quick enough for people's likings.
no,
Yeah,
absolutely.
plus
and
the
it's
online
kind of
mentality.
They
fucked.
want results immediately.
The online mentality is mob mentality, to be
Absolutely.
completely honest.
It's and the either people's source of information, super example, right? Let's say you go on a Facebook article and people read the headline, as they usually do, right? This person X accused of whatever he may be doing. People read that. Honestly, like it seems like they just get opinion right away from there.
Oh, absolutely. I can't tell you how many times
Yeah.
I've seen people share articles with a flabbergasting headline, and they'd put in their status
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Oh my god, I can't believe this," and then someone would click on it and be like, "This article's from 5 years ago."
Yeah.
But
Read the fucking article.
Actually, I have a funny
No,
story
they
about
don't.
that.
No, they don't.
read the fucking
I
article.
actually have a really good story about that, right? So there's one kid on my Facebook who does that really thing. Honestly, I at least see 6 posts a day. Linking to some article from fuck, I don't know, USA Today or something like that, right?
Right.
And
Fake news.
And the one he linked, right, was definitely related to COVID, and it was titled China has another virus to worry about. Hanma virus.
Uh-oh.
Right?
COVID-20.
COVID-20.
Right, and
COVID-69 is sweeping the nation.
and this a little bit, elderly woman responded, right, saying, Matthew, this was posted like in December, and it was already like May, right? Read the fucking article for once. And that woman to my fucking day is one of my heroes now,
Hell yeah.
because she knows that, hey, maybe I gotta read under the headline a little bit. Maybe I gotta read at
Maybe
least the
actually-
first freaking
maybe you have
paragraph.
to actually do some research to know things.
Instead of looking at the fucking headline.
Weird
and
how
be
that
like,
works.
wow.
Oh yeah, and it's super fucked. I hate it. Just watching these articles on Facebook via go to people and they post it, and I'm like, it's clearly steering a certain direction. I mean, super biased.
Confirmation bias is the word you're looking
Confirmation
for.
bias.
Yeah. Yeah, they kind of read something and they'll if it confirms what they believe, they will instantly believe it. But if it doesn't agree with what they say, then they will refute it. So for example, my mother has a lot of confirmation bias. So when I see her searching for things, she'll search COVID, she'll search COVID-19 is a hoax, right? So obviously, if you search COVID-19 is a hoax, you are going to get results that say COVID-19 is a hoax.
You should put the word "is" in front of that and see if she'll still do the search.
Is COVID-19 a hoax? Yeah. That's a good point. That's a really good point, actually.
Before we get a little too off topic,
Right.
You said something else about your weekend. You said before you get into the other part of it.
Oh, right. Yeah. So the other things were a streamer. His name is Dr. Disrespect. If anybody doesn't know who that is, yeah, he got permanently banned off of Twitch, and nobody really knows what the
Nobody. The
nobody
people
knows.
Who do can't talk about it.
Yeah, pretty much. So the reason for that is that his agency CAA, which is huge. They represent people like Mel Gibson, Tom Cruise, who else? Morgan Freeman. They represent some of the biggest names in Hollywood. So they are pretty much saying hey, don't talk about this. You're not allowed to. And that's somebody you do not want to go against in court. They will win. They will 100% win. But even Dr. Disrespect himself, he sent out a tweet saying, Twitch has not notified me about the exact or the specific reason that they have banned me. And that's a really interesting tweet because it's very specific, but it's not saying, people are saying that, oh, he doesn't know, but no. What that's saying is they have not notified him on the specific reason. That could also mean I know what the reason is, but they haven't told me what their specific reason is.
There's a man by the name of Moist Critical.
Oh,
Penguin
yes.
Zero on YouTube. He's got a whole video about this. It's fucking hilarious.
He's a normal guy.
Pretty in depth into some of the Reddit theories as to what's going on with Dr. Disrespect.
So what about you, Pete? What did you do this week? How was your week?
That was okay. Just had class and work. Doing classes online is a nightmare. Absolutely hate it.
I don't doubt that.
And not because the content is necessarily harder, but because when I'm at home on my computer, the last thing I want to do is homework.
Oh yeah.
I'm doing. I'm not even showing you. I had to take a quiz yesterday. It was a 45-minute timed quiz, and I'm not I finished it. Hopefully, I get a good grade. But I did find myself wasting 5 minutes at least of it on Reddit.
Nice.
Oh yeah, it's just the distraction is right there. It's so readily
It's
available.
so
it'd be 25 minutes.
It would be the whole day for me, honestly.
Shit, I had homework.
It's so bad. At first, you'd be
Better luck next time.
First, be oh yeah, I get to do this at home. I can be comfortable in my chair. No, absolutely not. Right? I'd rather just take it. After this point, I'd rather just take it in a class.
Yeah.
And it would be a lot better.
Because when you're at school, you're in the mindset of, I have nothing else I can be doing. This time is allocated towards school. I'm going to spend it doing school. Mm-hmm. But when you're free at home, that time could be used for anything.
That's like, and even at work, and the other thing I did at work was at work. When I have browsed Facebook and or Reddit/trashy, right? I've seen it. You ever seen those people who wear the face mask, and then they do.
I have seen the people that wear face masks.
And
Yeah,
they do this.
They exist.
They
pull it underneath below their
and
nose.
they have their just nose, right?
Yep.
And it never really hit me, right? Because I was never really looking at work. But
Everyone
today,
does that.
I shit you not, at least in the start of my workday, 7 of the first customers just were doing that. And I'm like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Like,
People are dumb.
like
People
come on.
they just don't get it.
And you know what it is too? I'm
uneducated.
Polish, right? So I had a few Polish people come in, right? And they're like, they're all doing that, right? I'm saying in Polish, hey, can you pull this up? It's like, oh, it's not that bad.
I breathe it down.
Oh, nie trzeba, jest okay. And I'm like, are you just saying this to me because I'm fucking Polish? Like, I shouldn't even fucking mention I was Polish. Maybe if I just said it and talked to my in my
Western accent.
In my Western accent.
Your name, Peter, is spelled on your name tag PIOT.
Sometimes I take off my name tag just so that
okay.
people don't know, right?
Yeah.
Just they want to catch it, right? But like, I'm just like, I should just like not even said it. Sometimes they don't even look at my name tag, and I could have been like, "Sir, can you please put on your mask?" Oh, okay. Okay, no problem.
No problem.
But otherwise, it was a pretty average work week. I mean, I never hit that. I never realized how much looking at stuff on the internet and then just seeing it in real life has impacted me tremendously.
Yeah, having a first-hand experience with something is much different than reading about it, for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was just it was too surreal. I'm saying, like, guys, not even I've had people be like, listen, I don't believe in COVID, and I'm like, okay, I get that, but I can't.
Believe in COVID?
I get that, sir, but I can't let you in. Okay.
I could go into COVID conspiracy theories for like an hour straight.
I can understand the like.
Okay, let's not do a conspiracy podcast.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
guys?
We're like an hour in.
Yeah, so before we get there, let's I got one
I'm
last
not
comment to
leaving
bring
until
in.
we discuss all of our COVID ideologies.
Oh man.
One last thing I'm going to bring in is I am so out of touch with this whole school from home. When we were first doing our
I'm
test,
very much in touch.
when we were first doing our test podcast, Peter was saying, "Hey, I'm going to be done with school at whatever time." And I was like, okay, so I was like factoring in the drive time.
Yeah.
And then I proceeded to order pizza for everyone because I thought I don't want him to go home, waste the time eating. Might as well just have food ready for him. And then that's when I found out that I was like, wait, you're doing school from home, aren't you? He's like, yep.
It sucks ass, especially when so like for example, right? I mean, there's been multiple other classes too I've done online where I have and not to say I'm not like a genius or anything like that. I just do the work sometimes to try to get a good grade, and my classmates are like, "Hey, you want to do the homework together?" I'm like, "So you mean I? You mean you mean I do the homework? Yeah, I do the homework.
Yeah.
You just copy off of me. Sure, why not? Yeah, no, I'm a good guy. Why not? Right? I want to make friends.
Yeah, man.
Nice guys finish last, buddy.
Yeah,
Yes, they do.
Yeah, 100%. Alrighty, well, it's time for us to end it, right?
Yeah, so thank you.
yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us on this second episode of Inebriated Analysis.
Good episode.
If you'd like to support
Alcoholism.
us, you can check out our Patreon page. There's a whole bunch of rewards on there that may or might not entice you. And if you want to get in contact with us and follow our various social media platforms, you can go to our website. That's inebriatedanalysis.com. That's inebriated with an A. And yeah.
Make sure you put the YSIS at the end of analysis because you might get a different page. Just letting you guys know. I already made a mistake.
Porn.
Excuse.
I think I've heard of that.
We're trying to be civilized over here.
We're
okay.
family friendly.
We're family friendly. Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning into this episode, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you guys.
You're welcome.